Hey guys, it's Drew here. I'm going to make my Oracle collection video. Feeling a little bit better than I did when I was making my tarot video, so if I look a bit weird, that's because I'm tired. But I'm going to get straight to this one and probably not even just show the cards, just show the decks because time limits with my computer. But I did want to show you guys what I have and some new ones and some of my most surprising favourite decks as well, so they're going to all be thrown in together. Okay, so I'm just going to go through them like I do with my tarot. I have the Celtic Tree Oracle, a system for divination by Liz and Colin Murray. I do still work with the Ogum and definitely going to be doing more tree work this year. I put them on the table, but apparently my soup leaked. I still hold onto the Oracle of the Dragon Fae by Lucy Cavendish. I will just quickly show you if I can. Oh, I said I wouldn't, but I did trim them. Definitely inspired by Devon's Spiritual Quest on Instagram. She had a picture of hers, and I was going to do it like last year. And I was thinking, do I really want to do it? And then I saw them again, and I was thinking, yes. This deck just needed that. I don't like the borders. I just tend to not like borders very much, especially for Oracle decks. I still have the Camelot Oracle, the quest for wisdom through the Arthurian world. I don't really use this very much, and I think that if I'm going to be keeping it in my collection 2017, it needs to be used, because if it's not used very often in the next year and coming 2018, it will be swiftly moved on. I do love it. I do love Will Worthington's artwork. I did have the poster, but it got rained on when my walls were leaking in the old house, and I lost a couple of posters, and that was one of them. But you don't really need the poster to go along with this. It's just like a handy thing to have, kind of like an outline. But I think that it would be probably good maybe to use it monthly, because it is a path working kind of deck, and it is a connecting deck to connect with the guides of Arthurian times. So I definitely think that it wouldn't be a daily thing, but it'd definitely be a nice ritual way to connect with Avalon again, and that area. Also think it'd be really interesting to read it with the Ancient Future series that I'm reading, which I've almost finished. I mean, I'm going to be going back to the Atlantean book, which is book 2, but it still does tie in with Celtic mythology, and I think it'd be interesting to track like what happens internally when I'm reading fantasy books based around Celtic mythology or Arthurian legends. I think that'd be really fascinating. What do you guys think? Let me know. So I have the Intuitive Oracle by Chrissy Foreman Cranich. I love this deck, and I'm going to be pulling this out again to do my daily meditations with. Here she goes to say she's not going to show any of the cards, and what does she do? Sometimes. But these are worth showing. Beautiful. I love them. I'm going to be making a video probably soon on my spiritual planner, and just like a look at it at the start of 2017. Maybe just to give you guys some ideas about what you could do in it. So look out for that. I still have my Animal Spirits Knowledge cards by Susan Seddon-Boulet. America's Now by Gabby Bernstein, which I do have one on my bookshelf. I usually, every couple of days or a day, I put one up there just to, you can probably see it on my spiritual bookshelf, just to sort of ground me because especially lately it's just been hectic, my life has been hectic, so I do enjoy a bit of affirmation. I have the Mermaid Oracle by Lucy Cavendish, which is a fairly recent one as of last year. I do like this one. I probably should have given a warning for my friends. If you're watching this and you know, I am sorry, but I am showing this in the video. It's just not like this deck at all, but I enjoy it greatly, and I bought it for, you know, being a water witch and being a Cancerian, and there's some work that I still need to do in the inner temple that I started last year. So I thought I was trying to sort of find a deck of mermaid, like a mermaid deck, that would really resonate, and I didn't really want to pay like $70 for the Dame Darcy deck, especially after like the controversy that happened there. So I decided to get Lucy Cavendish's deck. It's not exactly perfect, but it definitely does do what I feel like it was called to do. I'm pretty excited about showing you guys these decks because I haven't touched them for ages, so it's fun. I have the Viking Oracle, which I am yet to use. I have not touched this, and I've had it for about I'm going to say 2 months. Again, controversy around this about the level of knowledge and research that was gone into it. A lot of people were uproar about it. I'm still not sure how I'm going to use this deck or how I'm going to use it with my ruin stones, but I will figure that out, especially probably like in the next couple of weeks when everything settles down and I can actually focus on a spiritual path of knowledge. I have the Fairy Forest. Again, I've used this a couple of times. It's by Lucy Cavendish. I think that I'm going to possibly take it with me when I do my nature walks, or when I'm working with the trees, or when I'm working with the garden outside, or when I'm setting up my like plants, hopefully getting some inside plants for my room. So I'm not sure, but I do love the artwork of this, but I haven't used it very much. I have the Sacred Rebels, which I've talked about quite a lot on my channel, so I won't go into too much detail, and I'm sure you guys already know what the Sacred Rebels is all about. I have the Divine Circus Oracle by Alana Fairchild, and I have made a video about Subversion, I think it was? Sacred Subversion, which I'll probably link below. Still not sure about this deck, haven't used it as much as I wanted to. I think, again, this is going to be another deck that I take through the year and work with it, and maybe by mid-year, if I haven't actually sort of worked with it or done anything comprehensive, it will go up into swap or sell. And I have Connected and Free. I loved this Oracle deck in 2016. I used it a lot to check in with my dream work, my writing, the astral, and where I was. There was a card, actually, I mentioned in my tarot video, you know, if there was a card that followed me around for the year. I probably won't be able to find it in time, and I don't want to take up too much of your time, but there's a card here that, here we go, Elixir. That card haunted. That card haunted me like the whole year. Every time I did anything relating to herbs or anything relating to path working, anytime I use this deck, really, it just came out. So I'm gonna maybe play around with it and see what comes up with the new year, like what card might come up more in 2017, since energy has shifted and my focus has shifted. I have the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle, which I love, and again, this is one of the decks that I kind of use not every day, not every month, but when I do use it, it's very integral to connecting with Avalon and my Celtic history and path. Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen D. Farmer. These are one of my favourite decks, particularly because I am an elemental witch, and also because they are sort of more Australian energetic vibrations, and they are created with that shamanistic flair, I guess you can say. These have been really good for connecting with the Australian land, because I do live in Australia, and it's important that I connect with native energy as well as elemental energy in the other realms as well. But this is just a beautiful deck if you haven't already got it, and I did get this the year before, at a very pivotal turning point, and I'll be forever grateful that it really helped me through that as well. I try and speed along in case it turns off. I have the Ganesha, Whispers of Lord Ganesha. If you follow me on Instagram, or I don't think I've really talked much about it, but Ganesha is one of my gods that I work with, and I do love this deck. And I do have a few posts on Instagram with this deck in it. I have the Native Spirit Oracle by Denise Lynn. I went through a few Native American decks last year to see which one would work better for me. This one in particular, because I think it is very naturalistic and it, again, more elemental, and it works very well with medicine wheel energy and green energy. It's been very great as an oracle for that. This is the Cosmic Reading deck. If you guys know about my love of aliens, UFO, cosmic energy, star seeds, higher being, power, shadow work, this is the deck that I have used and had on my altar for quite a while. I really love that one. Didn't think I would when I opened it. I was like, these cards, some of these cards are hideous, but working with it, I love it. I'm going to be making a video about this deck soon because it's not a very well known deck, and I think people would benefit from checking it out. It's called the Gods and Goddesses, Mantras, Blessings and Meditations. It is solely a Hindu deck with Hindu gods and goddesses, which is something that you don't really see within the tarot and oracle community, and it's something that I definitely think has its place and could really benefit from a lot of people using it as well. I have the Magician's deck by Quora. Again, this is a very personal deck, so I won't be sharing too much about it. I can't really describe why it's extremely personal, but it just is, and I think it's kind of, the intention is set up that way. It just has that energy about it whenever, like, the people I've spoken to have shared little bits and pieces of it, but they've said it kind of has the same energy to it. I'll see how I go in 2017 with sharing that one. And there's a guidebook. And lastly, I have the Davis of Creation, working with the energies of the universe, another one of my absolute favorite decks, which I have Ivana and Larissa from Storytelling Tea and Tarot to thank for actually introducing me to this. And the Green Pixie, lovely, thank you ladies, because this really changed my practice. I love that it has planets, I love that it has earth elements, I love that it has cosmic elements, I love that it's raw, and it just, and the beings and energies from it, it's so good for meditating. I love the guidebook. I think this is just an amazing deck, and it goes very nicely with my First Light Tarot. It actually goes really nicely with the Japanese as well. So I will definitely be cherishing this, and this was actually a birthday present from my ex last year. Yeah, birthday present. So I'm so glad I have this in my collection. Well, that made one video. So thank you guys for watching, and check out my other videos that were in 2 parts by stupid computer. It's just weird, but it breaks things up. And I will talk to you guys later. If you'd like to see any Top Deck Tuesday weeks with these cards, let me know below, like the decks that I haven't already done. Although I can also go through and do decks that I have already done Top Deck Tuesdays with, because, you know, things change, and be interesting as well to see where the energy is with those. So thank you guys for watching. I love you all, and I will speak to you later. Bye.